Welcome to Volume 3 of Arsenal's Video Club, the insider's view of life at Highbury this season. Coming up in the next hour. Last time we saw the Gunners make convincing progress in the Champions Cup. Now the Euro trail continues in the Stadium of Light.
Such a test of Arsenal's great team spirit in this marvellous setting in Lisbon. And here's Campbell marauding forward as George Graham will want him to do. Merson just tucking in and wriggling away with the ball again. Smith going to the near post, and it didn't quite come off for Arsenal. It wasn't an easy ball for Alan Smith coming just behind him, but we've seen him make contact there before and score. But now it's Isaias, no offside, Benfica are in front, and that really has rocked Arsenal back on their heels. One moment they were wondering about just a glimmer of a chance that got away from them at the other end. And now they're a goal behind, and Isaias took it very well indeed. Testing times for Arsenal now. Rocastle. Oh, that's a marvellous pass to Campbell! The goal that Benfica got has been cancelled out in superb fashion. 1-1. Kevin Campbell scores it and played his part superbly, but the architect was David Rocastle, brimming with confidence after his marvellous display at the weekend at Old Trafford against Manchester United, and finding a phenomenal pass to open up Benfica, and Campbell did the rest. Well, that split the defence, and the shot was sure. Benfica won, Arsenal won. Might be even better things for Arsenal here. Rocastle takes them on, tries the shot, and it was a good try too. It's been one of the features of the season, the renaissance of Rocastle. The Arsenal fans who've come here are really enjoying this. Oh! Smith's been presented with a chance here. He decided to take it first time. The mistake by Panera. Oh, it's behind Dixon. Now Benfica flooding into the centre. Isaias again. Well, that could have wiped the smiles off the Arsenal faces. Once the ball dropped in behind Lee Dixon, there are always going to be problems. In fact, the cross was perfect, but happily for Arsenal, the header less so.
Training day at Coney, and there's the usual sprinkling of interested spectators. Among them today, though, there's a more familiar face. Gary Webster, star of TV's Minder and a lifelong Arsenal fan.
Fresh air, exercise. You said you wanted to get out more.
Didn't mean I want to sit on a wooden bench all day watching a load of scruffy old drunks while you're in the bar getting legless.
What are you implying? Some of my fellow members here are your movers and shakers. Leading estate agents, some of them. They're just as familiar with the inside of a pair of designer casuals as you are.
Look at them. The only moving and shaking that lot are going to do is when they haven't had a drink for 10 minutes.
I think it was always a family club, you know, and my old man and my brother supported them. But I think I remember mainly the 71 final and the week before that with Kennedy putting in the goal to give Arsenal the championship and the Charlie Jules spectacular. And I remember sitting around watching that with my aunties and uncles and everybody, and it was just, I was just bitten then. That was my team. And I mean, I think a lot of people do that. You come to the age of about 5 or 6 or 7, and whatever team that was in a big final or you follow, they're the team you stick with, and for me that was Arsenal. I've played all my life, you know, and I love playing. It's a pleasure to come down here and see some of the real players of the world. But I actually played for the Arsenal ex-professionals and Celebrity 11. I scrape in as a celebrity somehow. But it's great because you get to play with John Radford, Peter Storey, you know, George Armstrong, and all these players that I watched, you know, in 71, and now you're playing with them, so it's superb.
And like most frustrated players, Gary's a good critic.
I could do that. I can't do that.
Like any fan, the Minder will happily get his hands dirty for his on-field heroes. And in true Daily style, Gary can exaggerate a little, especially when describing his footballing talents.
Dynamic, good dribbler, very good on the ball, and a very big liar, basically. I'm very good in the penalty area. I'll get a penalty anywhere. I'll take that to my acting skills, though.
Would I lie to you?
As a true entrepreneur, Gary's full of admiration for the man who brought the league trophy to the Highbury lockup.
They've worked very hard, all the staff, you know, George Graham all the way down, have worked hard, because, I mean, they did have this, you know, boring tag during the 70s, and, you know, but it's from the 80 onwards, really, with all the cut run from 78, 79 and all of that, and I feel what he's done with the club, though, he's turned it into the, you know, one of the biggest clubs in the country. Again, it always was, but it's on the pitch it didn't always produce. But now, I mean, 2 league championships, a Littlewoods Cup win. He has turned it around into from being one of the biggest to the great club, you know, that it was in the 30s.
About time too.
Just as the Gunners must live up to their great tradition, Gary has had his own tough act to follow. Dennis Waterman.
Obviously, what Dennis did with George Cole was, I mean, history, and for me to come in, it's such a different character, though. There wasn't really a problem about me taking over as Terry McCann because the characters are so different. But I feel that it seems to have worked, and people have got into it, and I think people will love seeing Arthur Daly anyway. So, and I think the nation wanted an Arsenal fan. I know Dennis is a Chelsea fan, so I think they wanted, you know, a team that's going to dominate in the 90s, as I said.
Finally, the burning question. Are Arsenal Daily Enterprises kind of product?
I could get in on the ground floor on this.
I think he's got a few footballs at the lockup, you know, that I think that Arsenal may have been playing with a couple of weeks ago. But apart from that, no, he's keen on football. He watches all sport, but I don't think he has any special team. I managed to convert him to the Arsenal way, though, while we were shooting the series. So I think we could call him a closet Arsenal fan now.
In Volume 2, we left the league action at Manchester United. Now we pick up the story at Highbury with the visit of Notts County.
Well, after a spot of byplay between Steve Cherry and the North Bank, the goalkeeper turning his attention to his teammates to try and drive them forward, but the ball's come back towards his goal. An emphatic header by Adams, and here's Wright, and Cherry has to react spectacularly to stop Arsenal taking the lead. Smith not quite set up Merson that time, but Winterburn might be able to do that or do more himself. It's a fine cross, right! Oh. Well, met in mid-air. What a goal that would have been. Notts County, rightly regarded as a very hard-working side. They've forced their way into the First Division, and they're determined to stay here if they can. This is something of a barometer for them. But they continue to hold on. But Limpar providing a different sort of problem. Smith herring into the centre. Alan Smith! That's the breakthrough! Well, now a goal behind. Notts County really do have to try and offer a bit more in attack. And there's always the risk that they might be caught out just like this. Merson's pass, and Wright approaching the chance with great confidence. Confidence that was totally justified. Furlong allowed to turn. And he tricked Adams as well. Seaman can only push it out. Gallagher! Furlong did all the work, and Gallagher just beating Nigel Winterburn to the follow-up. Dixon to take the throw. Linnigan going in for it. Oh, Limpar! Very nearly pulling a rabbit out of the hat then. West Ham with unhappy memories pre-season of Highbury. They were swamped here by Sampdoria in the Makita tournament, and at the moment they're finding it hard to keep Limpar at bay. McCloskey did well to readjust. Thomas. The start of a sequence of games for West Ham against the top clubs, and Limpar trying to make it a bad start for them. We've got Tottenham and Liverpool and Manchester United coming up. Smith, Thomas is there. And eventually it's Mitchell Thomas who tidies up with a good deal of authority. And West Ham, having soaked up the pressure like a sponge, breaking forward now with Bishop and Breaker. Small is square of him. Here he is, Mike Small. Oh, he scored! A goal to stun Arsenal.
For regular visitors to Highbury, this is a familiar sight. Gary Lewin setting off on his daily 10-lap circuit of the pitch. Everyone knows Gary as the club physio, but he was at Arsenal long before his medical career began.
I first come here in 1977, 14 years ago, as a schoolboy, and did evening training then every Tuesday and Thursday night. I was fortunate enough to get 9 O-levels at school before I started a 2-year apprenticeship here as a goalkeeper, and was competing against the likes of Pat Jennings, George Wood, Reece Wilmot, and unfortunately it wasn't kept on. So I got some very, very good advice from Fred Street, who was a physio at the time, and as everyone now knows, he's England physio, and Al Fields, who's been at the club many, many years, and decided to go and do 2 A-levels and go into the physiotherapy world.
After his A-levels, Gary spent 3 years at Guy's Hospital qualifying for the all-important physio's diploma, and Arsenal didn't forget him. He continued to work part-time at Highbury and, once qualified, was taken on full-time. 5 years later, he's one of football's few fully chartered physiotherapists.
Yeah, there's not that many around. There's a cry now to get, especially with the Super League, that all clubs should have chartered physiotherapists. My view is, I sit on the fence really. In principle, it's right. I think all physios should be chartered. But in reality, you won't get it because of the hours you work, the job you do. Also, they don't understand football a great deal. I've been in football. I've been very, very lucky being an ex-player. I've got the best of both worlds. I can appreciate what the players are going through. Psychologically, I understand what's happening to them. But I've got my medical training as well to fall back on. Whereas a lot of chartered physios won't have that, and so they don't like coming into football. So I think you've got to get a balance between the two. I think a majority of physios in football are the FA diploma, and I think there is a job for them in football.
It's commitment to the game that counts. Gary will usually work a 7-day week, and his duties can even extend to players' hotel arrangements.
Push it too difficult. Yeah. The party's at the end of the park, and then we're standing in the park lane afterwards. You go home.
Despite all the hard work, the pace of life at a top club does have its fair share of rewards, including a host of magical memories.
One of the other ones that stick out in my mind is Michael Thomas before we played Liverpool. He actually hurt his knee, I think 10 days before we played them. We played Wimbledon here, and he just opened up his knee joint and damaged his knee ligaments. And it was touch or go whether we played at Anfield, and he was having intensive treatment twice a day, every day. He had an injection the week before the game. And we only decided the day before the game that he would play. As everyone remembers, he goes and scores a winning goal to win us the league. And he didn't forget after the game. He'd come up and said thank you, and that's something that always sticks in your mind when you get a player who's in that sort of atmosphere, remembers to come and say thanks very much for all you did. They're nice memories to have, and they're something that I will treasure forever. I've always been at Arsenal. It's 14 years now since the first time I come here. I've always been an Arsenal supporter, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I just love doing it, and I think you'll find most players or staff at the club, that is their main reason for being here. They just love being at Arsenal Football Club because everyone knows you won't get a better club to look after you, facility-wise, and obviously atmosphere-wise. And when things are going well, it's one of the best places to be.
This is the Nairobi National Park in Kenya, which at the moment is playing host to a very special guest, a 9-month-old black rhino called Arsenal. She may be relaxing in the bath now, but this young lady's had a tough time of it. She was spotted fighting off a pack of hyenas in the Masai Mara Game Reserve. They were trying to feed on the carcass of her recently deceased mother, and Arsenal wouldn't let them. In the fight, the baby rhino was very badly mauled and even lost half her tail. Arsenal was rushed to the Daphne Sheldrick Animal Orphanage, where, in conjunction with the Care for the Wilds charity, endangered species are given a chance for life. Urgent medical supplies were flown in by the Royal Navy's Fleet Air Arm. Their symbol, the famous Arsenal gun, led to the rhino's name. Now Arsenal Football Club have adopted Arsenal the Rhino, part of a Care for the Wild initiative which hopes to save species such as the black rhino from extinction. At the current rate, animals like Arsenal will be gone by the year 2005. But for the moment, Arsenal is thriving, and the club are hoping to be involved in another joint project with Care for the Wild soon. We'll keep you up to date on developments. Match day at Highbury, and the famous colours are laid out in preparation, but for a different kind of outfit. The Arsenal ladies team top of the National League's Southern Division and facing a tough game today against 4th placed Reigate. The message from boss Vic Akers is Arsenal's ruling principle: consistency.
So again, we go out with the right attitude. The last 2 games have been excellent, absolutely superb. You know, the way we've been approaching the game and the way we've started to play is exactly how we need to be doing it throughout the season. not on 1 or 2 games, but throughout. All right, girls? Yeah? Okay, take a gear and we'll get on underway.
As ever at Highbury, team spirits are bubbling. Not surprising really, the Arsenal ladies team is yet another success story. Formed just 4 years ago, they now field 4 sides every week. Still a labour of love for coach driver and coach Vic Akers though. As assistant physio to the first team, he has to fit the ladies into an already hectic schedule. But their enthusiasm is infectious and plain to see. With the continuing help of Arsenal, who provide invaluable facilities, and a sponsorship deal with the Daily Star, the ladies can only go from strength to strength. Home games are played in the East End at Leighton Wingate FC. There are few early arrivals, and the latecomers miss some silky skills from the ladies' Icelandic import Adi Olafsdottir. They also missed the less glamorous side of warming up.
I can't get back! I bet George Graham don't have this problem, does he? Cheers.
And after that bit of wall practice, it's time for the big kick-off. After some stubborn defence, the ladies break through at last. Naz Ball's thumping header makes it 1-0. Minutes later, it's 2, and from the same set piece. That was the situation at half-time, and the second half starts badly for Arsenal. Some very lax defending allows Reigate to pull one back. But like their male counterparts, the ladies are made of stern stuff. They bounce right back. Some fine work from club captain Caroline McGloin and a great finish from Jo Churchman. Then some tremendous fullback work from Kelly Few. Caroline McGloin again at the centre of things. And a real centre-forwards goal from Jo Churchman. It's the number 9 again, literally seconds later. A great through ball and an even better finish. A hat-trick for Jo. Caroline McGloin's had a fine game, and she got in on the act with this fine solo effort. Arsenal finish as they started with this set piece. A corner from Jo, a header from Caroline, 7-1. A resounding victory then, but when you play for Arsenal, it's the mistakes you're made to remember.
When we're defending, you know, to let teams in the game, you're 2-0 at half time, we go out and we start to concede an early goal. Straight away, that gives them a little bit of a lift. Okay, now they're on top of us now, and they're thinking they've got half a chance of beating you. All right, and they keep us under pressure there for at least another 10 minutes, and that's unnecessary. That's unnecessary pressure. The game's simple. It's simple. We should have it by now. All right, but we try to complicate it at times there, and we nearly let them back in the game. It's sort of inbred, really. I mean, we work with the kids. I'm with the kids a lot, and we obviously try to educate them in the right way. And again, you tend to carry the standards right the way through the club, and it carries through to this as well. And the way they turn up, the way they're dressed, everything is going to try and be Arsenal.
I mean, people see sort of like you in Arsenal gear, and yeah, they automatically associate you with, and it's, you know, we got to be proud to wear it, and we have to, you know, anything that we do reflects on Arsenal Football Club, and no, I think most of the girls are proud to wear it, to be associated with such a large club.
Yeah, it's obviously a bonus for us to be part of a major club, and the way the club look after us and treat us, it does make us feel very homely, and the girls, you know, respond accordingly. Because it's such a growing sport now, and people do recognise it. You know, you sort of like, people say, "Oh, what do you do for a hobby?" I say, "Oh, I'm a lady football," and they go, "Oh yeah, I saw the ladies football on the telly. It's quite good," you know. So now, because they've seen it on the telly, they can relate to it. But I think sort of like a few years ago, you know, you used to get really sexist marks, like, you should be at home doing the washing up and things like that. But generally my answer to people like that is, well, don't mock it until you've been down and had a look at one of the games.
Two hours to kick off on Highbury's biggest European night for years. The only sound in the empty stadium, that of the TV technicians, who will be providing live coverage for those unlucky enough not to have a ticket. The return leg against Benfica is a complete sellout. At Arsenal's tube station, the European contingent are beginning to arrive, and not all of them will be supporting the Portuguese side.
We come from Norway, and Arsenal has got a lot of supporters from Norway, and we're on a trip here to London, and we have to see this match versus Benfica. It's a great match.
Yeah, sure.
The excitement is building in Avenel Road as well, and the opposition are on their way. Benfica led into the marble halls by the legendary Eusebio, still a key member of this club. Inside the stadium, the early arrivals are busy demanding autographs from record signing Ian Wright. Ineligible to play this evening, but like the fans, an excited spectator.
Yeah, it's a big game, big for the club. It's a nice occasion. When I look around, and when I went to the Stadium of Light and all that, and I looked around, I said, God, I wish I was playing, but I'm sure like they'll get us through, and you know what I mean, hopefully I can play in them ones to come. They'll be better to come, obviously, if we do get through, which I'm quite confident we will.
It would be a hard game, but we should win.
More excitement, anyway. There's definitely more excitement because they're different players. Whereas you see the same players year after year, you know, you're playing West Ham and you're playing Tottenham, you're seeing the same players. Here you're seeing different players and you're seeing a different type of football as well, aren't they? Skillful football, and they're a new thing to Highbury. So we're looking forward to it very much.
Pre-match entertainment keeps the crowd in good humour, especially with this kind of ball control. There's a welcome sight in the warm-up. Steve Bold's back at last. He's one of the substitutes this evening. Alongside him, the goal-scoring hero of last month's Viennese massacre. The fans must be wondering if Alan Smith will connect with another four tonight. At the other end, Benfica are going in for a more technical warm-up. And their fans approve. But they can't outshout the North Bank. The atmosphere is electric. The tie finely balanced. We join the action in the first half.
Pates with the free kick. And Smith stooping in bravely. Here's Davis. Merson with an early cross, and he's found Campbell free off the post. Unlucky Arsenal. The chance really owed so much to Paul Merson's perception at not dwelling on the ball. Here he is again. And that gave Campbell the room to power the header against the post. Well, there's an edge about Arsenal's play at the moment, that they really do threaten to overpower Benfica here. They're forcing mistakes, and Merson! A thrilling try. With the strength, there's such skill as well. Just look at this. And the goalkeeper did very well to get to it. Davis with the corner. Oh, the goalkeeper stranded. Colin Pates, his first goal in Arsenal's colours. And a splendid time to strike. Neno, the goalkeeper, was culpable here. Pates spun and shot and scored. Duran's header. Isaias, they know all about him. The scorer in Lisbon has made it 1-1 in the second leg as well. A brilliant finish.
With no further score in normal time, there was plenty for George Graham to think about. We rejoin the match in its first extra period.
What a night of incredible intensity this has become. Oh, Smith letting that tension get to him. The linesman was waving play on. Smith, in fact, was played onside. The Swedish pairing of Turn and Schwartz in midfield have been outstanding for Benfica. Isaias, and here's Duran. Kulkov! A terrible blow for Arsenal. And this cosmopolitan Benfica side get a goal that was engineered in Sweden and scored from the Soviet Union. Rocastle, Adams, and then Davis, blocked by Kulkov. With Arsenal needing 2 more goals, well, Adams will perhaps rue the opportunity here to get one of them. It was gilt-edged and he sliced it onto the post, and when Davis fired it back, Kulkov, who just scored for Benfica, blocked it. Benfica have stood their ground here with a capacity that really one has to marvel at, even in Arsenal's dreadful difficulties now, which are about to be increased, because that surely means that Benfica are through, and Isaias, who's been a torturer throughout, has fashioned another fantastic goal.
In this moment, and I'm very happy, very happy. Benfica play very good game. You know, 2 teams, Arsenal, you have good players, but I believe in my team. Benfica, he play very well. You know, congratulations for players, for fans for Benfica, and good luck for Arsenal for English League.
Since last time, the youth team have extended their unbeaten run with 3 wins and a draw, and they've made progress in the FA Youth Cup as well. But their one defeat of the season back in October at Tottenham has cost them top spot in the South East Counties League, again to the old enemy. Meanwhile, the second team's mixed fortunes continue. They just can't get a consistent run going. Now, the chance to put things on the right track at West Ham.
Well, the crowd here at the Terence McMillan Stadium seeing a match full of international talent. So, and one of them, Tony Adams, on his comeback, has given away a penalty here. Matthew Rush brought down. Simon Livett, 1-0 West Ham. And Clark might reach it and does. And Arsenal reserves are 2 down. Alan Miller is furious. O'Leary. Davis. And Cole. And it's looped in. Tony Park's got his hand to it but couldn't keep it out. This for 2-2. Neil Heaney. Well, it's a super game. And it's not over yet. Thomas. Can he get the cross in? Shaw comes in and finishes in fine style. Arsenal are in front for the first time. Well, there might be a break on here. Thomas. Here's he. Cole pulling to the left. And what can Cole come up with now? A little cross and the header from Shaw, his second. And Arsenal's fourth. That's the final whistle. Terrific entertainment here in the Neville Ovenden football combination. 4-2 to Arsenal reserves. And for Paul Liedersson, another match under his belt now that his transfer from Norway finally settled.
First of all, it's a big difference for me to come over here. It's a very big club, you know. It's a lot of people going to the games, and everything is very different for what I'm used to in the Norwegian league. So I'm hoping to improve myself and get good enough to go into the team and play well.
Oldham do pride themselves on their attacking verve, and Ian Marshall pulling away to the far side. Sharp is up, and little Nicky Henry as well. Not much chance against David Seaman's hands. Rocastle. Merson. Oh, it's a great try! And neither Smith nor Wright could force in the loose ball. I'm starting to lose count of the magnificent attempts that Merson has had this season without bringing the reward of a goal. That's the latest. There's a much more mature approach about Merson. He would have played in Poland, I'm sure, if he'd been fit. Hallworth got his hands to another excellent effort. Oddly enough, Merson's misfortune let in David Rocastle in the international setup. All sorts of problems again. Sharp hoisting it forward. Marshall will jump for this. Palmer timed his run well. Marshall in the centre. Barlow's there as well. (1-0) to Oldham. Arsenal looked initially for offside. They were caught flat, defending the header in behind them by Marshall. Steve Bold sticking an arm up, but the linesman didn't do the same with the flag in his hand, and Barlow got in front of Dixon to score. On a day when Arsenal badly need something after their run of 3 successive defeats in 3 different competitions. Dixon, time is running out. Groves and Wright! They've got something! And it's no more than George Graham's men deserve. So Ian Wright, after Dixon had got it right to Groves here, this is a terrific angle on a marvellous equaliser. And just when Oldham thought they would be holding out and protecting their lead, it's 1-1. Hurst. Palmer, nicely found and brought down. Arsenal complain that It was a dive by Palmer. Pates' tackle was just outside the area. Sheridan takes it, and Seaman gets to it, but Hurst has followed up. Dixon. And Wright has got the better of Warhurst and has gone a long way until Palmer has bundled him down and Arsenal have a penalty. England colleagues in confrontation here. Lee Dixon to take on the international goalkeeper Chris Woods. And that's a marvellous save by Woods. The penalty was placed well enough, but Woods anticipated the direction. Hillier. And still Hillier. And he's poked it forward to where Wright will collect. Smith in the centre. And Bold is there as well and unmarked. 1-1. And Steve Bold lays something of a Hillsborough ghost, because a couple of seasons ago he scored an own goal here after 14 seconds, I think it was. It was the only goal of the game. Arsenal lost because of it, but he pays back the debt. Old friendships renewed in a very worthy cause. Arsenal and Spurs stars of the past gathered here at White Hart Lane to raise money for the dependents of the late Cyril Knowles. Cyril mourned throughout the game, his death tragically premature. Forward from Radford. Here's John Samuels, who always enjoyed shooting from long range in his prime, and hasn't lost too much of the art, so it seems. Hit it very cleanly indeed. Now Arsenal have to funnel back. Willie Young going for the challenge, and Paul Barron out very quickly. Armstrong. Now Young. That's a very thoughtful ball forward, and the crowd pleased to see George Graham in possession. And Pat Rice, who is on the coaching staff at Highbury, of course. Samuels with a looping header, giving Pat Jennings a problem. Well, it was a deep ball by Pat Rice. John Samuels had pulled away, and it was pushed onto the bar. Rice, who still plays regularly in charity games. Armstrong, who's also moving very spryly indeed. And it's David Court's shot. The header down at the far post found David Court in a position to grab a goal for Arsenal, but Jennings had it covered. An entertaining exhibition indeed, with our thoughts all the while with the family of Cyril Knowles. We're just coming up to the halfway point in the first half. Arsenal making the running. Tottenham with a cautious note to their selection. Defending well enough, but David Hillier very nearly finding the first way through. The shot took a deflection off Paul Stewart, actually. And Torsfet would not have been able to cover it, I don't think, if it had been just inside the post. Off Mabbott, right, Smith's free, and Torthbet down very well indeed. Arsenal employing the direct approach here, and Tottenham only just coping thanks to the goalkeeper. Fenwick's throw. Hillier saw where it was coming to. Smith. And here's Wright! What an explosive character he is. He does everything so quickly, so eagerly. Merson to take the corner. Bold trying to get free to flick it on, but Gordon Dury covering his movements and trying to get to the ball first if it's under hit. It's over Dury this time. Bold! Smith! Well, it was a good save, but what a brave header. Alan Smith going in there with a severe risk of injury in his quest to score. Winterburn. The longer it goes on, the more frustrating it's becoming for Arsenal. As we've moved now into December after the winless November. Right! Can he do it this time? He has done! And he's hurt. Well, there's total pleasure there, but it's mixed with pain here. This may well be Ian Wright's last contribution to the match, but a crucial contribution. He looked Eric Torsfed in the eye and then threaded the ball between his legs. Well, Spurs had the capacity to shut out Arsenal in the 2 league meetings last season. They took great satisfaction from that. Embroidered, of course, with the FA Cup semi-final success, which was so spectacular. But today, it's Arsenal's day. Limpar, and there might be more to come. It's Campbell. 2-0! And the switch has paid off with Limpar coming on to excellent effect, and Kevin Campbell, who loves playing through the middle and is at his most dangerous in this role, as he shows once again. He's such a muscular young man, and although Tottenham had players around him, they couldn't close down on him, they couldn't control him, and this was the outcome.
That stunning derby victory lifts the Gunners to 4th spot in the table. And remember, this time last year, they were some way behind the leaders as well. And look what happened then. Our golden goal this time comes from recent years. Mr. Darren Maslin of Edmonton wants to relive David Rocastle's tremendous winning goal at Anfield in 88-89's Littlewoods Cup.
Thomas, Rocastle. Well, where did he get the power from? There was scarcely any backlift on the shot. But more argument here for those who believe that David Rocastle will have a long and profitable England career. That was a great goal.
Last time we asked you to name the 6 league clubs George Graham played for during his career. As well as his spell at Highbury, the boss played for Aston Villa, Chelsea, Manchester United, Portsmouth and Crystal Palace. The first correct entry out of the hat came from Mr. S.G. Welling of Beckenham, who wins an exclusive Arsenal jacket. And it's another great prize this time, a match ball autographed by the Arsenal first team squad. All you have to tell us is this. What is part-time goalkeeping coach, ex-Arsenal great and TV personality Bob Wilson's middle name? And believe me, it's not easy. Entries and suggestions to the usual address. The Arsenal Video Club, the Chrysalis Building, Bramley Road, London W10 6SP.
and I think the main message is look forward to an Arsenal push towards the biggest prize in British football, which is the league title again. So hopefully we can go all the way.
Well, let's hope things start looking up. I'm sure we just need a few wins under the belt now. I think everybody's looking over their shoulders at us. So let's hope it's a good new year.
We're just going to string together a run of results over Christmas time, and hopefully that will catapult us into the new year and then into the home straight of the Championship, and it's anybody's title really.
Yeah, I think keep your spirits up. I mean, everybody within the club know we can do better. We've proved that in the past, and we'll bounce back. We've got a lot of character at this club here, and a lot of quality players. Now the thing is, we've just got to get on a roll and start having an undefeated run. Hopefully towards the end of the season, and there's a lot of optimism within the club, and there's no reason why the fans shouldn't share in it.
This is fun morning.
The one I had and that one's a bit different, or is it the same?
Cut that one.
It was quite a way to end the season, 5.
No, it was 6.
6?
Yes. You try to get a job at ITV.